Hello, my name is Andrea Sampson, and I'm the CEO and founder of Talk Boutique and the Thought Leader Academy. You see, so much of how we show up in the world is really about perception. When we're talking about this, I always like to talk about what we call the status triangle. And what it is, now this comes out of the acting world, but it's so important for thought leaders because it is about the physicality of how you're showing up. So we start with the first part of the triangle is how we perceive ourselves. I am in total and complete control of that. How I perceive myself, I'm in control of. And if I'm showing up or wanting to show up as a leader, I should be really clear on my perception of who I am, the value I bring, what I'm offering to the world, and how I'm using my knowledge, my education, and my experience for others. We're pulling something apart that's kind of tricky here because if point number one of that triangle is how I perceive myself, point number two of that triangle is how I perceive that you, my audience, are perceiving me. Now, that's the tricky part because we often don't think about the fact that we're actually in control of how we're perceiving how our audience is perceiving us. It's a little bit of a mind trick there, isn't it? So when we think about how I'm perceiving how you're perceiving me, if I perceive that you perceive me as an imposter or as somebody who is trying to sell them something, or if I perceive that you're perceiving me as less than capable, now what's happening is I'm projecting something out to you because I'm believing it. And therefore, I'm showing you some form of an incongruency with how I'm perceiving myself. Because how I perceive myself and how I perceive that others perceive me is actually how others are going to perceive me. Because think about it, it's like a triangle. When you define two sides of a triangle, the third side gets defined for you. So if in fact I'm perceiving myself differently than I want you to perceive me, you're feeling that incongruency. And that's really powerful. Now, this is often unconscious, and we don't even realize this is going on below the surface. And because of that, it starts to sabotage how we are being perceived by others. And these perceptions are really limiting beliefs. Surfacing those limiting beliefs and working on them is really, really important when we start to build our brand. By addressing who we are and what we bring and understanding the reputation that we have, that's the first part in building an intentional brand. Because as you know, and you've heard me say it many, many, many times, that being a thought leader is really about being that expert communicator, first of all, the front door of thought leadership. Having a brand that aligns to your core thought leadership message and to your own personal values, and then building that community that supports and amplifies your brand and your message so that you get the opportunities that you really want. Building a personal brand is absolutely a valuable tool and a skill that's going to help you build your influence. It's going to help you develop and deepen your impact. And of course, it's going to help you increase your income.